Okay. Yeah. I guess one reason I asked about the carb thing is because I grew up in an Asian culture, right? So the
Yeah.
Chinese culture, the Japanese culture is carb heavy. You know,
Yeah.
you are eating your rice, and that rice, it may be a big bowl of rice and a little bit of veggie and maybe a few floating pieces of meat. I mean, that was probably what most people have been eating, how they've been eating for, a few thousand years. So this is why, maybe in other cultures a little different, but the Chinese and Japanese, have been known to have pretty good, health span. I mean, lifespan, right? They've done
Mhm.
pretty good. Of course, there's Chinese medicine, but um, good luck convincing my dad or my mom, to eat a low carb diet. They're like, how can you eat low carb? You need it. You need rice. You need the grains. There's even Chinese saying, there's Chinese saying for everything. So yeah, the Chinese saying basically the five grains are the foundation. You don't get rid of the foundation. So and then good luck convincing them to do intermittent fasting. There's another saying, that you need 3 meals a day. So I said, maybe try, Dad, let's enhance your longevity, maybe try to eat, like shrink your eating window. Oh, no, 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 no. You need, so I have no luck. So what
Like,
what are your thoughts on these cultures? The fact that they have been carb heavy, even Okinawans, I'm
yeah.
sure that it's carb heavy and they're doing great.
It's hard to extrapolate that data and then compare it to America, right? Because first of all, number one, the grains in America are not the grains they were eating back in the day, or that they might be eating in China or Japanese or other countries. We have grains that are loaded with pesticides and herbicides. We have hybridized wheat, so that's different. But also, most Americans are sedentary. They're sitting on their butt. There's also a toxicity component with other heavy metals and mold spores and other things to consider. So the society we live in now, the day and age we live in now in America, is a very toxic environment. We know that there's a lot of toxins and we're sitting on our butt, in general, and we're not moving. There's not that social component that I'm sure your parents had or your ancestors had. The social component is very important. A lot of the blue zones have that social component. They're also moving. So there's a lot of things that are similarities, but then there's a lot of things that are different. So I speak from the lens of what's happening right now in America with so many people being overweight or obese, and how we can apply this tool to them. If somebody's having rice and they're not fasting, but their lipids look great, their inflammatory markers look great, they feel great, then keep doing it. But for the most part, that's not what we're seeing here in America.
That's true. That's true. So do you feel that intermittent fasting and ketogenic diet, they are best to be utilized together, and they help each other?
They go hand in hand because they both do a good job at lowering glucose and insulin, and most people need to do that. But also fasting. The great thing about fasting, intermittent fasting, is that you could kind of plug it into any dietary philosophy that you follow. It could be plugged into a vegan diet, a vegetarian diet, a paleo diet, a keto diet, a carnivore diet, because it's not really, you're not eating, and you could plug into any diet that you follow. And fasting has amazing benefits. So the way that I teach it with my approach is, first I get the person in ketosis and burning fat instead of sugar, and then I pair intermittent fasting. And I've noticed doing it that way, by lowering glucose and insulin and then pairing fasting,
Hmm.
makes it much more bearable. They're able to do 18-hour fast, sometimes 24-hour fast, and achieve more results and feel better during the fast. But yeah, to answer your question, Joy, they go hand in hand and they work really well together, fasting and ketosis.